Hey everybody, Barry here again. Oh, I got a lot of work planned for today. Oh boy. Everything that I painted last week is going to be on this truck frame before this video is over. That means a lot of time lapse today because I don't have a lot of time to go film, edit, do shots, that kind of thing. So I will stop, of course, like I always did. Time lapse, a little bit of a look over, see how it's looking, and back to time lapse again. Nice fast progress. It's winter now. It is winter. We have snow. It's not going to slow down until like June, probably May. I want to get the cab on this frame. I want to get the bed on this frame before they're snowed in out back and I can't get at them until spring. I don't want to be stuck for like 3-4 months with zero progress. Frame's looking really good. You guys saw this last time. Anybody who's new, this is a 2005 Chev truck frame. I shortened it to single cab short bed. You can see my fish plates right here. They go all the way around there. I Z-cut the frame and then put it back together. It's going to have this aluminum block 2009 5.3 with a sloppy stage 2 cam. I put in dished pistons because I'm going with boost and I don't have access to E85 or anything better than junky, watery 91 octane. So I'd like to keep the compression at a manageable level. It's going to have a GT45 turbo that my wife bought me for my birthday last year, so I'm itching to use that. Also, I scrapped an 05 Escalade, so I have all of the all-wheel drive running gear and the complete Escalade front end. The only thing that I'm really missing that I'd like to have is the Escalade EXT tailgate, but this was the SUV, so it didn't have a tailgate. If anybody knows for one of those in a scrapyard somewhere around central Newfoundland, let me know, because I'd love to have the tailgate to go along with the whole front end, the cladding, the tail lights, all that fun stuff. Let's stop wasting time and put this thing together. I'm going to start with the rear, work my way forward. I don't have the leaf springs or the differential painted. That's because I don't know how many springs I'm going to be using, and I don't have the perches welded to the diff yet because I need to put the engine transmission transfer case in to set my pinion height. And I can't weld, and I don't want to paint until that's done. Here's the all-wheel drive front diff. I painted it up, looks pretty good. Just a 5-minute spray bomb job, makes it look as good as used. Time for a break and look at this thing, I guess. I really regret not just spray painting it black because now it looks nasty. Everything's bolted in. The center pin was actually offset 1 inch. It was 32 inches and 33 inches. I don't know what way it came out, but my wheelbase was off. So I switched it to where my wheelbase should be correct, and hopefully it's correct. If not, I might have to take the springs out, turn them around, and go again. But that's something for later. Right now, I'm just assembling it so I can make it a roller. You know the plan. Rear sway bar looks really good. I'll paint that up too, of course, when I get it all ready to paint. And here's the new shackles that Aiden sent me. Up next, we're gonna do the torsion bar cross member. And then I get to install these. These are ones that Aiden actually also sent me. They're 2-inch drop keys. I'm very excited about these. Let's look at how they compare to the stock keys, which I had to cut off. So let's line them up. Line them up, line them up, line them up. Look at that. That's a big difference. That's going to allow me to lower it, but also have preload on my torsion bar so that it's not like driving on a cloud like this all the time. I have the torsion keys. One thing that I couldn't figure out, and really still can't figure out, how does the torsion keys stay, or the torsion bars stay in? They can slide right through the key. They can slide all the way forward through the control arm. What's stopping them from just working their way out, and just falling out? Anybody answer me that? So, oh boy, that's heavy. try to do this without damaging the torsion bar. Oh, damaging, scratch the paint. So, let's like that. That's what I mean, it just kind of falls right in there. It's funny. That's one side done. These are like super easy to install. Straight. The bar fits down a little bit. There we go. Good. Oh, I got it upside down. Darn. I thought it was going to be easy. Cool. Worked for me. Looks lower already. The reason I wanted to start at the back is this. Yep. It's getting pretty heavy in the back. Now I'm going to work my way forward to the heavier stuff, which is going to be, of course, the front diff and all that. So I wanted to start back here and then work my way forward, because if I started here, this thing probably tip up on me. These cross members look really good. I was trying to get outside the frame and I was gonna step on the cross member and I was like, oh no, I'll get a footprint on it. That's, I think, when you know you've gone too far. When you're afraid to step on a cross member because you'll get a boot print on it and ruin the finish. I've lost my mind. I need to put the control arms and stuff on, but in order to do that, I need to kind of tweak and hammer and whack. And this thing is still really light in the front, so I don't wanna do that. That means I'm going to put the front diff in now to get that down there another, I don't know what that is, 50 pounds probably. Put a bit of weight on the front there, and then I should be able to work confidently and comfortably on the front end. You can see that I didn't paint any of the bolts. Here, there, there. That's because why would I paint them and then gun them on with the impact and then they'd look like that again. So maybe I'll go around with a spray bomb after and just clean them up a little bit. I think it looks fine. I think this, having to keep it absolutely perfectly clean, is going to wear off when I get the wiring harness on, when the cab is on. Like I said before, this is for protection, not for SEMA. I actually want it to work. Should probably take that ratchet out before it's in there forever. That looks so tidy right there. Very good. Fits so well. I actually had my doubts that the all-wheel drive Escalade front diff would fit in the Silverado frame, but apparently not. I guess they're exactly the same. making some serious progress. I really want to try, I got the word gone, electrolysis? I think it's electrolysis. On like the rotors, on the knuckles, even probably the caliper. Calipers would be really cool to see if it works on that, because we got some real deep, heavy, flaky rust going on. Oh, it's under my nail. On that, it'd be really cool to try it. I was watching a few videos on it. Dwayne brought it up to me a little while ago, and kind of refreshed my memory on it, where you can get like Arm & Hammer super something washing machine cleaner, and it's like amazing for it. So we can get that here at the local grocery store. And I just need like a battery charger, or I wonder, I have been wondering, because it runs off amperage, if you can just hook booster cables up to a car battery. Can somebody answer me that? Because amperage is draw, so it will only use the amperage that it wants, and a battery can put out 300 amps for a starter anyway. So what's stopping me from just putting booster cables on the two probes and hooking it to a car battery or a deep cycle truck battery? Somebody answer me that. That would be really cool, because I don't have a battery charger, only one of those smart chargers that won't turn on unless they detect battery voltage, which obviously is not gonna work. Maybe I'll just try it and I'll tell you guys if it works or not. I did find something else out. You done messed up, Aaron. Let's check this. When I did the leaf springs, I put them so that my wheelbase would be shorter, and through a lapse of memory, I remembered that my wheelbase was already too short. Right now I'm at 117 inches-ish. That's not quite level, so we'll say 117 and a half maybe. Which was the same wheelbase that I had previously. When I flipped the axle, my wheelbase was too short. It was supposed to be 119 inches. And if we look here, if I put my tape up against the leaf spring perch, line it up with the center of this bolt, we're at 29 inches. And then we go back here and do the same. Center, or the end of the leaf spring perch, center of the bolt, we're at just over 30 inches. So if I turn these leaf springs around and get that 30-inch distance toward the front, shorter toward the back, then my axle will move back about an inch-ish, inch and a half, inch and a quarter maybe. You can also see here that my jounce bumper is not in line with the center of the pad. If you can see that, I lined it up. We're about an inch, inch and a half forward too much. So I think if I take these leaf springs out, flip them around backwards, then my wheelbase may be correct again. So I'll probably do that before the end of this video. I went ahead and took the leaf spring out to try to flip it around, make my life easier, and I made my life harder. This is the sleeve that was inside of that front leaf spring bushing, because they're like polyurethane. The bolt came out of the sleeve. The bolt will not go back in the sleeve. Like, will not. So I've been here with a drill like an idiot, doing this for like an hour. I must have over tightened this nut and bolt and sort of collapsed it or shrunk it or whatever, I guess. So this is actually sickening. And I just realized, not that I just realized, I realized this is a perfect time to bring in the transmission, the transfer case, and the cab. Because it's really starting to snow outside, and we had a snowstorm this weekend. Now, hopefully most of it will be melting very soon. But we got snow. It's not a good time to be bringing parts around on a forklift. The cab is right there. That's very not a good time. And with the gate here, the back doesn't get plowed, so when this is plowed up with a foot of snow, it's useless. I can't do anything else. So I really need to get in gear, bring this stuff inside. So I'm gonna do that right now. What a unit! Man, chains on the forklift is the best thing ever. That would get stuck on wet grass before, and now it's like snowmobile. There's transmission. I had the doors closed on this thing, so transmission is dry and fine. A little bit of probably a bad seal or something in there. Yep, ready to go. I'm using the V6 torque converter, so I don't need this pile. Oh, we got the transmission, and the transfer case is right over here. A little bit more sketchily deep here. Oh boy, don't start bouncing, you'll get stuck. Don't do that. Right. The old Escalade park shed. There we go, and the transfer case. You would not believe the trouble I went through to get this thing. I got so stuck. Well, I got the cab out of the snow, that's the main thing. Hopefully I don't have to do any repairs on it. It kind of bounced around a little bit. Hopefully it'll be good. I'm gonna put it up there on the side somewhere. Oh, don't start bouncing now. I don't want to break that back window. Oh, better let that tip ahead a little bit. Oh, it's too bouncy for me. Okay, that's enough for my nerves today. Now let's get that engine transmission in. Well, that was an obscene amount of work, but I got it in. Perfect. I'm gonna try to get this leaf spring thing back together here. I got some state made of that. It's kind of getting on my nerves, so I'm just gonna plug away at it, and when I get it fixed, I'll be back. Can you guys explain something to me? I'm absolutely, completely lost, and it's really getting on my nerves. I'm not winning. I'm actually losing. I don't usually get frustrated, but today's a new day. Here's the bolt out of the front leaf spring, well, the front part of the leaf spring. This is the sleeve that I just took out. I unbolted this bolt from right there, and watch. That's it. That's as far as it'll go in. This is exactly what happened to the other side. Exactly what happened. Why? How did that shrink? I just tapped this out with a hammer. Just tap, 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 tap. Tap the bolt out of that bushing. And now it will not go back in. I'm cutting a slot in this. I'm just gonna cut a slit right there and just let it go. That's what I should have done that one, and I wouldn't be an hour and a half later pulling my remaining bit of hair out. If somebody could explain this to me, I would be eternally grateful. I had to cut that with a 16th inch wheel, right there, very small, and open it up to 3/16, I'll say, and the bolt still is tight. What is this? Why? I finally got it fixed. I should have just cut a slit in the first one and just got it over with. It worked perfect. It worked absolutely perfect. Next time I have to take this apart, which I hope is never, that side is going to come off easy. This side is going to be a pain. I guess I can get back at the front now. I'll just put the 2 axles in, and then I can start putting this stuff together later on. And I'll also put on the front sway bar. It's a roller again. Oh, it looks so good. Wow. It is a roller. I can already tell from what I can see, the frame is at a downward angle toward the front. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. When that top control arm is level, with no load on it whatsoever, just about level, that's freaky. Never had anything this low before. Now it's gonna be static. Our roads are horrible. 2-inch drop is more than enough. Now I need to mimic that on the back. I need to make sure my engine, transmission, transfer case, cab, front fenders, grill, hood, all that fun stuff, all the electrical, everything needs to be on this truck sitting before I start taking leaf springs out, before I start lowering the back, I should say. But as of right now, I don't hate that at all. It looks really, really good. I know the front is going to drop a lot more. I thought about taking out one spring while I was in there, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not sure about that big overloader spring on the bottom. I might leave that there because I got a hitch. It's got a bed. I'll put stuff in the back. Wouldn't hurt to have that in there. I'll just take out one of the 4 or one of the 3 extra leaf springs. Mint. What do you think? I think it looks good. I just kind of compressed the suspension a little bit. And yeah, the control arm is still on a bit of a downward angle like this. So it's not dead level, but like I said, a lot of weight got to go on this. But look at that ball joint angle. The ball joint is almost perfectly straight. If you look at the angle of this knuckle, you look at the angle of this control arm, the ball joint is almost in a perfectly straight line. So as it sits right now, with no weight on it, the ball joint is at a perfect angle to just articulate like this and not be maxed out one way or maxed out the other way. So that's pretty cool. Look, it's a roller. I think I'm done for today. That was a lot of work. I got a feeling this video is getting lengthy now, even with all the time lapse. A lot of stuff going on here to completely put a frame back together. That's absolutely wild. In the next video will be engine, transmission, transfer case going together, going on the frame. I'll probably do stuff that'll make it easier, like maybe put the transmission lines on, maybe find my wiring harness, start clipping that to the frame. Then I can put the cab on. I got the cab taken out of its grave out there, so that'll make it a lot easier for me to just roll the frame out, put the cab right there on the 4 legs, lift it up, frame goes in under, cab drops into place. If I do need to remove the cab again later for stuff that's really in the way, then I can just lift the cab right off anyway. Nothing's actually hooked up, so. But we'll talk about that next video. I'm all done for today. Thanks so much for coming on this journey with me and getting more work done and coming and watching the video. And thanks my YouTube members, patrons, and subscribers. If you want to check out my Patreon, it's patreon.com/stationroadratrods. My YouTube members link is down here. And that's a couple of ways you can help with this. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.